A book that profoundly affected me several years ago was Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It was then that I began understanding how global finance and political systems work, or actually don't work. The author, John Perkins, has written another book since then titled Hoodwinked. Hoodwinked takes us through the folly of allowing our world to be governed by corporations, but also speaks to the solutions.
And it's gotten worse. I just saw last week a report where the wealthiest, I can't remember whether it was 1% or what it was, but the wealthiest small percentage point in our country just increased their income by 500 times. And that's while the rest of us are going through a recession.
Oh my. Well, I mean, we read about these bonuses, but it didn't hit me that it was to that extent.
Well, you see, the robber barons know how to take advantage of recessions.
Yeah.
So the very people that coerced a homeowner to buy a $500,000 house when the homeowner could really only afford a $300,000 house, ended up taking that house back, the bank, for nothing, basically, foreclosed. The guy who had the house walked away, foreclosed. The bank ended up owning it and repackaging it and reselling it. And when you do that, and not just with houses, but you do that with businesses, you do that with everything across the economy, you find yourself increasing your wealth phenomenally. If you're in a position to do that, you're in a position to increase your wealth by 500 times. And it's a terrible system. And it's not leading to a world that I care to bring my 3-year-old grandson up in. You know, every time I look at this young boy, I think, my God, what are we creating for his generation? And you know, for the first time in history, I have to be aware, we all have to be aware that the only way our children and grandchildren can grow up in a sustainable, just, and peaceful world is if every child on every remote corner of this planet has that same opportunity and realizes it. And this is new.
This is a huge paradigm shift.
It's a huge shift. It used to be that if we took care of the United States, or even our own state, that's really all that was required, and let the rest of the world go to hell. But that's no longer the case. We're so interrelated, integrated, interdependent, that we've got to realize that the only way our kids are going to survive in a decent world is if every kid has that same decent world to survive in.
This is a fascinating interview into a subject that has rarely been glimpsed from the inside. For the full-length conversation, go to ConsciousMediaNetwork.com.